How do I manage my $335,000 investment portfolio? Watch till the end of this video to find out. I'll also be sharing a lot of my learnings at the end as well, so stay tuned. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing really well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I do a lot of career and personal finance related videos here on my channel. So if that's something of interest to you, then please do subscribe to my channel down below. So as you can tell by the title of today's video, I'm really excited to share with you guys how I manage my investment portfolio. I've received a few questions around this. Obviously after my net worth reveal video, a lot of you guys were asking, how do I manage my portfolio? What do I do to stay on top of it? How do I know how much I have and all of that good stuff? So I'm going to be breaking it down for you guys here. Now, if you haven't watched my net worth investment video, then pause this video and watch that first before you do watch this one. Otherwise, watch it after this video. Now, I've also done a video here on my channel where I've spoken about how I actually manage my money. This was when I was working a 9-to-5 job, so it's still quite relevant for a lot of you guys. I know a lot of my audience have 9-to-5 jobs, so if you want to know how I manage my money and what I do when it hits my account, which accounts I put it into, how much I invest, then I'll leave that video down below for you guys to check out. Okay, now let's get started. So I'm going to break it down into real estate, cryptocurrency, my superannuation, and my cash holdings. So starting off with real estate. Now, in terms of real estate, I've got 3 investment properties where my total equity amounts to about $172,000. Now, a lot of you guys may be asking, how do I actually manage my investment properties? What do I do? Have I gone and visited them? How do I make sure that I'm being able to pay all of the bills on time, council rates, water rates, all of that stuff? Now, let me tell you, first things first, when I purchased this investment property, no, I did not actually visit this investment property. I took the advice of my buyer's agent, which I will leave down in the description box below in case you are interested, but I did not go ahead and view the investment properties that I purchased. I took the advice of my buyer's agent. I looked at photos, videos. They did all of the background research and they provided me with facts and figures, and that was enough for me to, get convinced and understand what I was getting myself into. I personally don't think you need to go and visit the investment property because a lot of times the investment properties are not in New South Wales, or if they are, then they are in regional New South Wales. So that was not something I was interested in doing, wasting a lot of my time. Of course, if you want to do this, by all means, go ahead and do it. But personally, I have not done this for myself, and I feel quite comfortable in understanding facts and figures more than actually viewing the investment property. Because at the end of the day, what are you going to gain out of, learning more about this investment property and seeing it firsthand? You're not going to be the one living here, and it's different to obviously what you would personally live in. It's in a different area. So really, what do you know about, the building, etc. as well? You don't know if there's any cracks in the building. You wait for all of the reports to come through. That's what I really believe in. So I did not visit my properties. Now, how do I manage my investment properties? Now, I have ensured I've got property managers that take care of these properties. So they take care to all things like council rates and paying that off for me, the water rates, and if there's any maintenance or repairs required, these are the guys that will contact me via email or phone and let me know if there's anything that requires my attention. And it's as simple as that. Obviously, there is a fee involved, but for me, I think time is money. I don't have time to sit there managing my investment properties. I'd rather have dedicated property managers look into this for me. They also make sure that the rent that I am receiving for these investment properties are matching the market rate. I don't want to do that research myself. I would rather pay someone else and outsource that because they know what they're doing, and I don't have any time in my schedule to take care of that. And I personally think that my time is more valuable than me doing this sort of research. Now, of course, if there is a repair that is outstanding or something that needs to be done, my property managers will take care of this. They'll get quotes for me and send them to me from surrounding, handymen that can actually repair the issue or whatever is at hand. Of course, given my investment properties are not in New South Wales, I would not know who to even contact contact for a repair person that say lives in Tasmania. So I rather leave it up to them to manage this for me. If there's anything outstanding, they usually take the funds out of my rental fund because my property is positively cash flowed. They are able to take that money out from there. If not, then they will send me an invoice and I can either accept it or decline it or ask for another quote. So it's very simple, easy breezy, no hassle with the property side of things. In terms of checking my loan and to see whether, the rent is coming through, whether my loan is being deducted accurately, I check my accounts regardless on a daily basis. You want to make sure that you're not having, any scams come through anyway. So I go through on a daily basis and just check through, make sure all the transactions are correct and everything is working as it should be. Now, moving on to my second asset, which is cryptocurrency. Now, I also just wanted to mention this video is sponsored by Swiftx. Swiftx is an Australian-based cryptocurrency exchange. I've spoken about them on my channel many times before, and I personally do have accounts with Swiftx. Now, if you aren't familiar, Swiftx have over 280 crypto assets, always adding new assets to their platform. They recently launched their new phone application, which I think is amazing. I love this. It's so easy to use, very minimalistic, very user-friendly as well. Another thing I love about Swiftx is their demo feature. So if you are new to the world of cryptocurrency and you're a beginner, then this is a great way for you to understand how the platform works. This is available on the phone app, but it's also available on their desktop as well. So if you want to check this out, definitely recommend you do. Not only that, but Swiftx also have one of the lowest fees compared to other cryptocurrency exchanges here in Australia. So definitely recommend you check them out. They've got fees as low as 0.6%, which I think is honestly amazing. So if you do want to set up an account for yourself, which mind you, only takes maximum 2 to 3 minutes, it's a very seamless process. If you do want to set up an account for yourself, then be sure to click the link down in the description box below and you'll be able to get not $10 worth of free Bitcoin, but $20 worth of free Bitcoin once you set up your account and you have it verified. So if you're interested in getting started and getting that $20 worth of free Bitcoin, then click the link down below in the description box. Now, let's jump back into the video. So, how do I actually manage my cryptocurrency portfolio? Now, personally for me, and what works well for me, is to have an Excel spreadsheet. I've got a spreadsheet detailing each of the coins that I've got, detailing how much I bought it for, how much I've got invested, and what the daily rate is at the point of me checking my investment portfolio. Now, I check my crypto portfolio at least once a week in terms of manually inputting this data through in my Excel spreadsheet. In terms of me checking my actual portfolio on my phone app and on the desktop, I'm checking that about 2 to 3 times a day. I know it's a lot, but given we're slowly coming to the peak of the crypto bull cycle, I want to make sure I'm on top of it. So I'm usually checking my portfolio on my phone app and making sure I'm on top of everything. The Excel spreadsheet side of things is what I do on a weekly basis. I sit down on the weekend and I input all of the numbers and I make sure that I'm updating my crypto tracker, but also updating my net worth as well and seeing how that's progressing over time. So when I initially purchased cryptocurrency, I had purchased it in my personal name because that was a time where I did not have the company set up, the business set up. At the moment, because I am running a business, I'm running a company, I have it running through my business account, my company account, and that is how I purchased my cryptocurrency. I have looked into the option of cold storage as well, and I do have my cryptocurrency sitting in a cold storage as well, which I think is very important. Cold storage, if you guys don't know what that is your cryptocurrency not sitting on the exchange wallet itself. It's sitting on a cold storage, so it's a device which I personally have and my cryptocurrency sits in there. This just helps it in terms of security. You can look into the benefits around this. This is something that just personally works for me. So that is how I manage my cryptocurrency. Now moving on to NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Again, I have purchased NFTs under my business name. Where I actually bought this was through OpenSea. I have done a video here on my channel before where I talk about how I purchase my NFTs. I personally use MetaMask and OpenSea. If you want to see, how that all works, I've got a step-by-step tutorial already here on my channel, so I'll leave it all down below as well in case you are interested in checking that out. But in terms of managing my NFT portfolio, I again sit on a weekly basis and plug that into my cryptocurrency and NFT tracker, and that's what really keeps me on top of my NFT portfolio. Now moving on to the next category, we've got my SMSF, which is my self-managed super fund. Now this is still currently in the process of being set up. The reason it's taking so long, I promise you it doesn't take this long, but the reason it's taking so long for me is because my trustee is yet to pay off their taxes, so I'm still waiting on them to go ahead and do that before I can set up my SMSF. And once that is done, it's a very seamless, straightforward process. The entire process for me only took about 1 to 2 weeks, and you get your accountant to do this. It's a very quick process, and it's not at all difficult as what a lot of people actually say it is. I will actually do a video on my channel once my SMSF is actually set up to give you guys a proper understanding, a proper breakdown on how it actually works and what was required of me, given that, you know, the setup has changed over time with government regulations, restrictions, and I want to explain to you guys how simple and easy it is. Of course, this is non-financial advice. You should only do what you're comfortable doing and seeking professional help if it is something to do with your finances. So yeah. Now in terms of managing my SMSF, it would essentially mean that I would have to have separate accounts for my super fund. At the moment, I'm with an industry super fund, but if I was to manage my finances and my super myself, then I would need to make sure it's separate to my personal accounts and my business accounts, because we need to show for tax purposes and audit purposes that this money is not part of your daily expenditure. Now moving into the next category, I've got my cash holdings. Now I don't have a lot sitting in my personal account because I run a company now. I only pay myself what I'm required to, and I have majority of my funds sitting in my business account, and I manage this. I look through my business account almost every single day just to make sure that there's no scams, no money is leaving my account where it should not be, and that's how I really manage my account in terms of my cash. Okay, now let's move on to some of the learnings which I promised I would share with you guys. A few of my learnings include time is money. You guys, I cannot stress this enough, but I think time is definitely money. Here, as I mentioned, I have property managers taking care of my investment properties because I don't have the time, and my time is worth more than me, you know, sitting there researching and looking into investment property data and all of those metrics. So I have obviously outsourced this to a property manager, and that's what works for me because my time is money. Another thing I want to stress is the importance of budgeting well. I've got an Excel spreadsheet where I track all of my portfolios, my earnings, my investments. I think this is so important to be transparent with yourself and understand where your money is sitting, where it's going, and are you actually managing it well. You want to be able to see your money actually grow over time, and I think there's no better way than manually having a budget, inputting that data through, plugging it in, and seeing that for yourself. And finally, I think it's very important to stay on top of market trends. You want to make sure that you're on top of the news. You want to make sure that you're not having your money sitting in places or in assets that are not actually growing and actually declining. You want to jump on board, and you want to make sure that you are providing yourself with the best return possible. So if you stay on top of market trends, you know what's to come, when to sell, when to buy, and I think that's very important. All right, guys, that's everything I wanted to share in this video. I hope this does provide you with some sort of guidance, information on how you can also manage your investment portfolio as well. If you guys found this helpful or useful, I'd appreciate if you guys can subscribe to my channel down below, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and be sure to follow me over on my Instagram account as well, Success by Sanjna. And that's it, guys. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks, guys.